guys, before I start this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, stay up to date with all my motherfucking videos. Follow me on my social media, will be in the description box below. Give the video a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you a fucking penny, helps the channel out. I really appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up button. Use all my affiliate links in the description box below. Without further ado, let's talk about the submarine unfortunate situation. So actually just today I was waking up and literally they said that they found pieces of the OceanGate vessel, basically. And even if even if they were alive before they found that vessel, they would have ran out of oxygen. So long story short, they ain't making it. But so I just want to talk about it because there's so many like things that I just don't understand. And I would like for maybe someone to comment and make me understand it, baby. So many things. And I'm going off the cuff here. So it could be a complete fucking spaghetti of fucking words and logic and stuff. So let's just get to it. So you have to sign a waiver that basically says nothing's a guarantee, right? Basically just says it's all experimental, who knows what could happen, yada yada. That right there gives me the no fucking way am I getting on that vessel vibes. You know what I'm saying?
An experimental submersible vessel that has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body and could result in physical injury, disability, emotional trauma, or death. Where do I sign?
Let alone that, you have to spend $250 to experience this experience with a vessel that's not even approved by the whatever association that approves those kind of vessels. All right, so I'm just trying to figure out what person would sign that, let alone billionaires and millionaires signing that kind of waiver. And then they know they're getting in a non-approved vessel. It just doesn't make sense why they would risk their lives over something that's not even approved, not even been tested. Then there was a story that the CEO fired one of the safety guys over, you know, the concerns of the safety integrity of that vessel. And it's just crazy that like all these things come out, you know, all these things were actually, I believe, known before they went into this thing, right? I mean, obviously the waiver was known. They know that they fired the safety guy. I mean, all that stuff was known. I just don't understand why millionaires and billionaires would risk their lives over that. So that thing's not certified. The CEO fired a safety guy over the concerns of safety. It's not regulated. It's not approved by any type of thing saying that it's a safe vessel to go that kind of deepness and all that stuff. And it's ran by a fucking Logitech fucking PlayStation type of controller. I mean, it's ran by wireless Bluetooth. It's literally, it makes no sense. It looks like somebody made that shit in their backyard.
Oh, take your shoes off. That's customary. Okay. Wow. Inside, the sub has about as much room as a minivan.
So this is not your grandfather's submersible. We only have one button, that's it. It should be like an elevator. You know, it shouldn't take a lot of skill.
The Titan is the only 5-person sub in the world that can reach Titanic depths, 2.4 miles below the sea. It's also the only one with a toilet, sort of. And yet, I couldn't help noticing how many pieces of this sub seemed improvised.
We can use these off-the-shelf components.
I got these from Camper World. We run the whole thing with this game controller.
Come on!
I mean, the technology that we have in 2023, and we're allowing this type of vessel to go into dangerous territory. Not only that, but why did the U.S. allow OceanGate as a company to even do this kind of experiment? You know what I'm saying? It's like they're allowing unregulatory shit to happen. The government should have shut OceanGate down for trying to run an operation that's not regulated or safe for human experimenting and all that shit. Like, how is there not a law that says they can't do that shit? How is OceanGate even a company, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't understand it. So then you take all that shit into consideration. There's 5 people. They're all millionaires and billionaires, right? But then the CEO's on there. So my assumption is that the billionaires and millionaires were like, well, if the CEO's going, fuck, I think it's a safe thing. I think it's safe. But that's just using confirmation bias or whatever the term would be. Just because the guy is getting on doesn't mean it's any safer. It just means the guy's a fucking lunatic, you know? And then you read up on the CEO, he's fucking crazy. He's firing the safety guy. He doesn't want to hire people with experience. He wants to be more experimental and more innovative. And if you look at the fucking thing, why would you even go and risk your life and all that shit and you only get a goddamn 10-inch window to look out of all that bullshit? And I heard they didn't bring enough food. There was no food. There's a little shit box. You shit in a shit box and pee. I mean, you're down there for hours. I don't remember how long they were planning on, how long the expedition was. But for a little box to shit in, you got 5 motherfuckers on there. You mean to tell me that nobody's going to be shitting and peeing? Like, to have this little ass fucking thing to use for a bathroom? Like, it doesn't make sense. And then the oxygen, they only had 3 days worth. What if something goes wrong, like now? You know, what if they're down there stuck? They only have 3 days worth, and that's it. It's over. It's done and over with. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, there's only 10 submarines in the fucking world that exist that are approved to go 7 miles deep into the ocean, or however long it is. I think it's 7. I think the Titanic is around the 5-mile mark, and 7 miles is the deepest the ocean is, and then 2 miles is like the average. But they were going towards the Titanic, which is, I believe, 5 miles deep. But there's only, either way you slice it, there's only 10 vessels that are approved to go that kind of deepness and depthness, whatever. And it's not fucking the goddamn OceanGate Titan fucking vessel. To me, that's a red flag. Not only that, we don't have the technology to, in case something goes wrong, to find out where they're at. GPS and shit like that gets all lost. It's all relying on sonar, which sonar is not, it's not the greatest technology to try to find a fucking small little vessel in miles worth of ocean land. I just can't believe all this shit just is known. If I'm a millionaire, billionaire, and I get in this vessel and this guy's like, yeah, we're gonna control it with this PlayStation controller, I'm gonna be like this. I'm gonna be like, you're gonna do what? That's what you're using? I'd be like, not happening. I'm getting out of this motherfucker right now. You cannot rely on a fucking PlayStation, $30 PlayStation controller to be in charge of your life. Like, how is there not technology that makes it more professional? You know, like an actual controller, and you sit in the seat and it's more fucking professional. I mean, it looked like the guy made the shit in his backyard. Oh my God. Then the waiver, there's just so many red flags that I just don't understand. And it's unfortunate that millionaires and billionaires signed up for this and they didn't see the common sense in this. Like, common sense says, fuck no, this thing isn't approved. You know what I'm saying? Fuck no. It's not approved. There's just so many red flags. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But yeah, they didn't bring enough food. The little toilet, it's ran by a game controller. It's not approved. You have to sign a waiver that basically says if you die, it's not OceanGate's fault. So many fucking problems with this whole thing. It's just unfortunate, and unfortunately, they disintegrated. And you know, when I heard about this story, I did a bunch of research, and I was just like, I wanted to figure out what was going on. I came to the conclusion that the vessel either imploded or they were stuck, like they got stuck on something. And I guess it imploded, which, you know, you got thousands of whatever pressure, and it's just, I read a thing saying that like the smallest bit of like shiftness or like within the vessel, it could just immediately crush. That's how sensitive the vessel is to that kind of pressure. And they didn't make it, man. They didn't fucking make it. I know I'm forgetting some stuff that I wanted to mention, but the moral of the story is this shit shouldn't have happened. It should have not have happened. The company should have not have been able to run this kind of operation. And it's super unfortunate, but hopefully we learn from this. Oh, that's the other thing. It's called a Titan, You made a vessel called the Titan when the Titanic is the one that sank that was supposed to be unsinkable. And you're bringing a vessel called the Titan. To me, that's just taboo. Like, stay away from that word. It's just a jinx thing. I know that that vessel has went down there previously, I guess, on a couple expeditions before, from my understanding at least. But either way, don't call something so close to what the Titanic is. I mean, Jesus Christ. But, that, let alone that, but, that's what I was going to say. Why didn't they set up a wire system of some sort where they hook onto it and it's at the very top of the ocean and it's like a winch and they let 7 miles worth to go down, you know what I'm saying? And they do whatever, right? And if something goes wrong, they yank their asses back up with a winch. Obviously, that wouldn't have mattered if the fucking vessel disintegrated. But to me, they should have had some kind of safe backup system. I know they had some kind of weight system, and it's supposed to, it'll let go of the weights and it'll eventually just float up, which I guess is pretty similar to like a winch system. But you have to rely on the thing to release the weights and stuff. And I know they had a fail safe for that. But to me, they just didn't think. They just didn't think. You know, to me, if it wasn't approved for that kind of pressure, no way am I getting in it. Period. No way am I getting in it. It's not approved for that kind of pressure, and here you are going down in there. And yeah, it might have had experience going down there before, but that doesn't mean the integrity of the vessel is going to stay consistent. I mean, you're talking like probably the integrity of one type use before it like, that's it. You get one use out of it and it's done, because the integrity of the vessel cannot handle that kind of pressure consistently. It's not like a fucking car. You can just keep driving it into the Titanic and expect the motherfucker to not fuck up. You know what I'm saying? To me, the technology just seems so behind or just like sketchy and just, I mean, we're using Logitech controllers for a fucking vessel. I mean, yeah, this company wasn't approved by any type of means. It was basically just an explorer being silly and being super risky. But at the end of the day, I just feel like the millionaires and billionaires should have known better. My guess is they're risk takers and they need some kind of risk in order to have fun. And that's pretty much what it was, in my opinion. There's just no other way to slice it, in my opinion, that makes sense to me. But as a millionaire, billionaire, I would not get into anything that's not safe, period. It's got to be 100% safe, approved, certified, all that shit, before I would even feel safe. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion, though. But that's what I got. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. I usually do fitness shit and stuff like that. But today I wanted to talk about this because it's what everyone's talking about. And that's my thoughts on it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Everything you know, description box below. Progressing and never regressing. On that, check, guys. Later. Yeah.